The Gopala Tapaniya Upanishad presented by Swayam Prakash Sharma. We begin the Upanishad with an invocation. O you gods, with our ears may we hear what is auspicious, with our eyes may we see what is auspicious. O you who are worthy of worship, always praising you, with our body and limbs steady, may we enjoy the full term of life allotted to us by you gods. May the glorious Indra bless us. May the all-knowing Sun bless us. May Garud, the thunderbolt for evil, bless us. May Brihaspati grant us well-being. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. The Gopala Tapaniya Upanishad belongs to the Atharva Veda. It posits Krishna as the Supreme Godhood and describes the various names by which he is called and the various mantras by which he should be worshipped. In the Muktika list of 108 Upanishads to be studied for salvation, this Upanishad figures at serial number 95 in that list. The Upanishad consists of 2 chapters and is presented in 3 parts. The Upanishad, Chapter 1. Om Namah. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, whose form is eternal, who is full of knowledge and bliss, who is the rescuer from distress, who is understood by understanding the Vedanta, who is the supreme spiritual master, and who is the witness who dwells in everyone's heart. Some sages once went to Lord Brahma and asked him the following questions. Lord, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhood? Whom does death fear? By knowing whom does everything else become known? And who created the world? This is the reply that Brahma gave to the sages. Know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhood. Death fears Govind. By understanding Gopijan Vallabh does everything become known. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhood, Krishna, who created the world, which he did by pronouncing the word Swaha. The sages then asked, who is Krishna? Who is Govind? Who is Gopijan Vallabh? And what is Swaha? Lord Brahma explained, Krishna means he who delivers from sins. Govind means he who is famous on earth, he who is famous in the Vedas, and he who is famous among the Surabhi cows. Gopijan Vallabh means he who enchants the gopis. Swaha means the potency, the power of the Supreme. All these names refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhood. The person who meditates on this Supreme Personality of Godhood, who glorifies Him and who worships Him, becomes liberated. Yes, he becomes liberated. The sages then asked, what is His form? What is His glorification? How does one worship Him? Please describe this to us. Lord Brahma replied, he appears like a cowherd boy. His complexion is like a monsoon cloud. He stays under a desire-fulfilling tree. The following verses describe him. When a person meditates with all his heart on Lord Krishna, whose eyes are handsome lotus flowers, whose complexion is like that of a monsoon cloud, whose clothes are lightning, who has 2 arms, who is rich in transcendental knowledge, who wears a garland of forest flowers, who is the supreme controller, who is surrounded by gopis and gopis and surabhi cows, who rests under a surdrum tree, who is decorated with splendid ornaments, who stands in the middle of a red lotus flower, and who is served by breezes that have touched the Yamuna's waves, he becomes free from repeated birth and death. Kleem Krishnai Govindai Gopijan Vallabhai Swaha. This is the mantra that should be chanted repeatedly. By chanting these 5 names, one attains the Supreme Personality of Godhood, whose potencies are manifested as the heavenly planets, as the earth, as the sun, as the moon, and as fire. Even if a person chants this mantra, Kleem Krishnai Govindai Gopijan Vallabhai Swaha, just once, by doing so, he quickly attains the association of Lord Krishna. He does not attain any other result. Of this you may be sure. Devotional service to Lord Krishna is performed when the heart no longer desires any material benefit to be obtained in this life or the next. This is freedom from the bonds of karma. Many people worship Krishna. Many people worship eternal Govind. Many worship Gopijan Vallabh, who maintains the worlds. Many worship powerful Swaha, who moves the universe. Although originally one, the air becomes the 5 life airs: Pran, Apan, Saman, Udan, and Vyan in the bodies of all living entities. In the same way, for the benefit of the worlds, Lord Krishna appears as these 5 words. The sages then requested Lord Brahma, Lord, describe the worship of Govind, the super soul who maintains everything. Lord Brahma replied, to worship the Lord's altar should be a golden lotus with 8 petals. Within that lotus should be placed 2 triangles and the mantra Kleem Krishnai Namah, the Kam Gayatri mantra Kleem Krishnai Govindai Gopijan Vallabhai Swaha, and the Ananga Gayatri Kam Dev Sarvajan Priyaya Sarvajan Sammohnai Jwala Jwala Prajwala Prajwala Sarvjanasya Hridayam Me Vasam Kuru Kuru Swaha should be written there. Then Angnyas should be offered with the Sool mantra Astray Fat. Then one should worship the Lord's expansions, beginning with Rukmani. Then the devotees headed by Indra. Then the devotees headed by King Vasudevas. Then the devotees headed by Arjun. And then the devotees headed by Indranidhi. Whosoever makes various offerings to the deity at sunrise, at noon, and at sunset, he obtains everything. Yes, he obtains everything. In this matter, there are the following verses. Lord Krishna is the worshipable. He is the all-pervading. He is the supreme controller. And although he is one, he manifests in many forms. Those who are intelligent, they worship him as he stands on his altar. They and not others attain eternal happiness. The Brahmins who worship the Lord as he stands on his altar, the one who is the greatest among the eternals and who is the greatest among conscious persons, the one who fulfills the desires of the many, they and not others attain perfection. To those people who always diligently worship Lord Vishnu's transcendental form, the Lord in his original form as a cowherd boy, to them the Lord shows his lotus feet. It was Krishna who in the beginning taught Brahma the Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Those who desire liberation surrender to Him, the Supreme Personality of Godhood, who grants transcendental knowledge to His devotees. To those who chant the 5-word mantra with Om and Govinda, Om Krishnai, Govindai, Gopijan Vallabhai Swaha, the Lord reveals His own form. Therefore, to attain transcendental peace, those who desire liberation should regularly chant this mantra. From this 5-word mantra have come all the other Govinda mantras that are known in human society, including the 10-syllable Govinda mantra chanted by the followers of Indra and by those who desire opulent and luxurious living. The sages then asked, Lord, please tell us the nature of this mantra. Brahma replied, I continuously glorified the Lord and meditated upon Him for millions of years. And finally, I was able to understand the transcendental form of the Lord as Sri Krishna in the dress of a cowherd boy. With devotion in my heart, I bowed before Him. He then gave me the 18-syllable mantra to be used for the activity of creation, and then He disappeared. When I desired to create the universe, He again appeared before me, showing me in these syllables the universe that was to be. From the letter K of clean, I created water. From the letter L of clean, I created the earth. From the letter I of clean, I created fire. From the letter M, I created the moon. And from the entire word clean, I created the sun. From the word Krishnai, I created ether. From Govindai, I created the air. From Gopijan Vallabha, I created knowledge and the Surabhi cows. And from Swaha, I created men, women, and everything else. Yes, from Swaha, I created men, women, and everything else. By worshipping Him, Shiva became free from illusion, and by chanting this mantra in a solitary place, he attained the Lord. The demigods gaze at Vishnu's abode, which shines like a splendid sun in the sky. Therefore, one should regularly chant this mantra. Yes, one should regularly chant this mantra. Some have said that from the first word of this mantra, earth was created. From the second word, water was created. From the third word, fire was created. From the fourth word, air was created. And from the fifth word, ether was created. To attain liberation, one should chant this 5-word Vaisnava mantra, which reveals Lord Krishna. About this, there are the following verses. One should chant this mantra, of which from the first word the element earth came, from the second word came water, from the third word came fire, from the fourth word came air, and from the fifth word came ether. By chanting this mantra, Shiv entered Lord Vishnu's eternal spiritual abode. That spiritual world, completely pure, uncontaminated, free from sufferings, free from greed and all other vices, and identical with this 5-word mantra, is manifested from Lord Vasudeva. It is not separate from Him. With eloquent prayers, I and the Maruts please Lord Govind, whose form is eternal and full of knowledge and bliss, who stays under a desire-fulfilling tree in Vrindavan, and who is this 5-word mantra. Om Namah. The Lord Govind, who is the form of the universe, who is the creator, the maintainer, and the destroyer of the universe, who is the master of the universe and who is in fact the universe itself, to him I offer my respectful obeisances. Obeisances to Lord Govind, whose form is full of knowledge, whose form is full of supreme bliss, who is all attractive and who is the master of the gopis. Obeisance to him, obeisance to the followers, obeisance to the flowers of his lotus eyes, obeisance to him garlanded with lotuses, obeisances to him, to his navel a lotus, obeisance to him, the husband of the goddess of fortune, obeisances to Lord Govind, handsome with peacock feather crown, identical with Balram, his intelligence sharp, and he, the swan in Manas lake, of the goddess of fortune's thoughts. Obeisances to him, the death of Kans and his allies, the killer of Kesi and Chanur, the object of worship of Shiv, and the chariot driver of Arjun. Obeisances to him, the cowherd boy fond of playing the flute, the crusher of Kalia, the person who walks on the Yamuna's shore and whose earrings swing gracefully to and fro. Obeisances to Sri Krishna, the protector of the surrendered souls. Obeisances to him, the expert dancer garlanded with the gopis' lotus glances. Obeisances to him, the death of sin, the lifter of Govardhan hill, the end of Putana's life, the thief of Trinavart's life. Obeisances to Sri Krishna, decorated with a golden necklace, charming, pure, the enemy of impurity, one without a second, the greatest. Be kind, O blissful one. Be kind, O Supreme Lord. Please rescue me, who am bitten by the snake of physical and mental pain. O Krishna, O husband of Rukmani, O enchanter of the gopis, O master of the universe, please rescue me, who am drowning in the ocean of repeated births and deaths. O Keshav, O Narayan, O Govind, O Janardhan, O source of all transcendental bliss, O Lord, who rescues the devotees from distress, O Madhav, please rescue me. Brahma said to the rishis, as I worship him, so too should you also worship him. Chant this 5-word mantra and meditate on Lord Krishna. You will all certainly transcend the world of birth and death. Whosoever chants this 5-word mantra easily attains the transcendental abode of the Lord. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhood is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others who run. Even the powerful demigods cannot approach him. Therefore, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhood. One should meditate on him. One should glorify him. One should serve him. And one should worship him. Yes, one should serve him and one should worship him. Om Tat Sat. This concludes part 1 of the Gopala Tapaniya Upanishad. Om Shanti 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 Om.